शन्नो मित्रशं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्तर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। श्रीरामकृष्णं जगतां शरण्यं ब्रह्मानन्दं ब्रह्मसमाधिनिष्ठं तच्शिष्यवर्यं पुरुषोत्तमं च गुरुरिमान् नित्यमहं नमामि। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। आपदापहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। भक्तवात्सल्यजलधेः परमानन्दरूपिणः अस्मदाचार्यराजस्य प्रपन्नोऽस्ति पदाम्बुजम्। नव योगीश्वरों का संवाद चल रहा है। The conversation between the king Nimi and one of the 9 yogishwaras called Hari is going on. The question was, you tell me the Bhagavata dharmas, the laws, the various moral, ethical and philosophical laws to be observed by a devotee, by a sincere devotee. What are those laws? And he says, the laws can be known by seeing which are all the qualities which the Lord likes a lot. He said, Nakama karma bijanam yasya cheti sambhavam. That should not be even the least sign of a desire starting from the heart. Nip it in the bud. So they should not arise at all here. The action starts from desires. So karma bija is kama. The bija for karma is kama. Nakama karma bhijanam yasya cheti sambhava. It starts from the heart. It should never start at all. And that should be there. You see, once there is a great king, he fell into bad times and his enemies invaded the country and he was sent out. The king came out and joined a line of beggars in some country, in some area, in some state, and he was happy. He will go stand in a line, beg, take his food, and he was very happy. 20 years passed. He was a young boy at the time, he was more than, he was just 16 to 18 when he was sent out. But now another 20 years have passed, he is 36, 37. One day, a vakil approached him. He said, your great-grandfather anticipated that the day may come when you will become a pauper. And he has left a lot of money in my custody. He said, when you are above 35, that money should be given to you. So, you come along with me to my house, I'll give you all the papers, and you will be greater than a king. Even a king cannot be as rich as you will be. As it has gathered a lot of interest by this time, the money is huge. You and I, if it were the case, David said, where is the taxi? But he hesitated and then he said, sir, give me 2 days time, I will let you know. Give me just 2 days time, I will have to think over it and I will let you know. What is that to think over it? He had absolutely no desires now. He had been so accustomed to live a life of begging from the people, and the rest of the time sitting and just thinking of God. So all desires have all gone away from his heart. He was absolutely satisfied with his life of a beggar. And when he told, just to escape from him, he said, give me 2 days time. The vakil said, there's a condition in those papers. If you say that I want a day's time or 2 days time, give him immediately. So I will have to give you just now then. I brought all the papers. You did not come to my house. Oh my Lord. Then he said, okay, I'm just coming, I'll just go to the bathroom. He went behind and ran away. That's the case, man. Absolutely no desire has ever touched his heart. It never sprouted in his heart. And he's only thinking of the Lord. Vasudeva Ikanilayam Savi Bhagavatottamaham. He's the best of the devotees. He is completely dependent on the Lord. Ikanilayam, there is his house. There is everything for him. He is completely rooted in the Lord. And I would say, this also suits the next one. Tribhavanave bhavahet me pyaguntavatihim ajitatma suradivir vimagyatim lavanna chalati bhagavat padaravindatim lavat nimishadhamapi savishtavagriha. Who is the one? Yes, there are so many devotees. Who will you call number one? Number one is that one whose mind does not move away from the Lord's holy feet. Bhagavat Padarvindat. Lava Nimisha Ardhamapi. Nimisha Ardha means half a minute. Lava means a small dot out of that. Even for a small, a part of a second, his mind doesn't move. And he is number one. Now, he has told the king Nimi is now asking another question. Sir, what is Maya? What are its qualities? Please tell us. They said, oh, I am bound by Maya, I am bound by Maya. What do you mean by being bound? Nobody has brought a rope and bound you. You go to your office. In the office, if you want to go to cinema, you can go. Or you can go to your friend's house. You can come to Haridwar, Dehradun. You are free. What do you mean by binding? What is binding mean? Binding means to limit your capacity. Where am I limited? If I want, I can take jalebi. If I want, I can take samosa. Who prevents me? No. There are three major limitations for every one of us. That is, one is space. We are limited by space. Second is we are limited by time. And third is we are limited by objects. Desha, Kala, Vastu, Avachena. We are all limited by all these three. What do you mean by Deshavachena? That you are bound by space. I can sit here, I can sit here. What are you talking? Where is the limitation? No. At present, I am here in Haridwar. I am not in Bangalore. I am not in Tiruvannamalai in Mangalashram. Thus, space has said, yes, you can be here only in Haridwar. So, I am not even in Vasishta Guha. I am not even in Rishikesh. I am bound here. Thus it is thus that space has bound me. How time has bound me? I am bound by space in this way. I am bound by time in this way. I was born in 1928. In the year 1925, there was no Shantananda in his Purushottamananda. In 1920, I was not there. Okay? What about 2080? I'll be more than 180 years old, 150 years old. So I won't be there. You will not find me. Now, where is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa? Where is Ramana? Where are all these things? Where is my great grandfather? Where is my father? They are no longer there. They have been cut. Yes, up to this year you will live and no more. My time has been cut. My time has been cut in the beginning. I am not there before 1928 and I will not be there after 2080. So it has been cut both ways. So these are the biggest bindings. In other words, all these things have happened because we are born. We are born in a limited area. I am born to a particular father. I can't say that I am born to somebody else. This object. The object called my father, he has limited me. That you are born only in a Sastri's house. You are not born in a Varma's house. You are not born in a Srivastava's house. You are born here only to this one Shastri, particular. So, this is object. Similarly, Mr. Krishnamurti is sitting there, I am not sitting there, I am sitting here. So he has controlled me. Here I am, you can't come here, I am sitting here. So, this is one object which has impeded the other object from coming there and occupying. Thus, these are three things which are supposed to bind us. All these things come because of our taking birth after birth and doing some actions. The actions create punya and papa, merits and sins. I do some good things, I get some merits or punya. I do some other deeds which are wicked deeds and I have to get my punishment for that. So I am born here. So, all this birth and death have come out of action. The action has got a reaction called either punishment or reward, according as you did something wicked or something very good. That will redound to the auspiciousness or to the good of other people. I've done something very good, then I deserve something. I get a double promotion. I get a deputation with twice the pay. Well, where from this has come? I never deserved it. I never tried for it. It has come to me. So these are all the reactions of the past. You call it as also prarabdha. Tat karma, karmani karma vikurvanne, sanimittani dehabhrate, tat karma balam grinnanne, brahmatiya sukhetaram. So as such, because of the karma phala, in order to experience the result of the bad and good deeds, you are taking birth. Is it only for 2 days? At least 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, you are there. Within 80 years, you do further actions. You do further good actions and further bad actions, a few good, a few bad. And as a result, you earn some merits or punya, you earn some bad results. There is punishments for the papas or the sins you have done. So thus, again another birth, again another birth. Thus, a chain of births and deaths is built up. It goes on forever. So, and as a result, we are going on, coming round to this world again and again. And what sort of a world? Sukhetaram. It is not sukha. It is not happiness. It is something other than happiness. All unhappiness, it is full of unhappiness, and we are coming back into this world. And then he says, we live here, how long will we be coming back? Till that final pralaya, that deluge takes place, then for 100 years the rain is going on, and you suffer during those rains, and all these things have been described. Yesha maya bhagavatam sargasthitantakarani. So this is the maya of the Lord, which creates, which sustains, and which takes away this form when the time is up to be in this world, in this empirical world. Then the next question, it is an obvious sequel. The king is asking, sir, how to get out of this maya? Please tell us. It is not enough if you describe it. How to get out of this maya? Yathaitam Ishwarim Mayam Dustaram Akritatnavihi. See, people who are very clever, who have been doing that bhakti and who are great bhaktas, for them it is easy. And how much percentage they form? Not even 5%, not even 10%. The rest is all akritatnavihi. We have done nothing for ourselves. So those people who have done nothing for the self, who have not been able to control their mind, an ordinary man, how will he be able to get rid of this maya? And he says, well boy, you have now seen people who are living a very ordinary household life without ever thinking of God at all. And what do? Nityartidena mityena dullabhena tamanyunam griha apatya apta pasubhi ka apriti sarite ishchalaihi. Well, we resort to all sort of chala. Chala means crookedness, cunningness, all sorts, even deceiving somebody. We come to deceit. Why? What for you are doing it? Nityartidena vityena. I want to earn a lot of money. And this money every day it is giving me trouble. Nitya artidena. Every day it doesn't keep me happy. I get money and the next day from somewhere the income tax comes to know that Maya have shown the cost is only 20 lakhs, but actually I have built it 100 lakhs. Where from the rest of the money came? So they are coming to investigate. Trouble. Thus you are getting trouble everywhere. Nityartidena vityena. Then griha apatya apta vasibhi ka apridrisanideshari. Only to maintain your house, to maintain your sons and daughters, apatya, apta, to please your friends, pashubihi, in order to keep some of those cows and all that in your house. Yes, you do all sorts of crookedness and do it. What is the use? Can you take any one of them when you go up? You can't. So he says, what should I do to get rid of this Maya? Well, one thing is very essential, which has been repeating again and again and again. And that is, Tasmad Gurum Prapadyete Jigyasushayatmamanim Shabde Parejanishnakam Brahman Upasamashriyam. He has to go and completely surrender himself to a guru, to a preceptor, to a teacher, to a master. If he wants to know the highest good, how to remove the Maya and reach the Lord, he has to go to a living guru. And that guru, how should he be? Shabde Parejanishnatam. He should be completely a master in Vedas. Not only that, beyond that, a stage will come when you will have to leave all the Vedas and go up. And that is the Vedanta. This is our philosophy. Shabde Parejanishnatam Brahman Vipasamashriyam. He is completely satisfied with the Brahman. He is the only support. He does not take support from his neighbor. He does not take support from his brother who is in America and who is earning a lot. His only support is the Lord. He is the only ashray. He is the only support. And what will he do with that Guru? Tatra Bhagavatam Dharmani Shichet Gurvatma Devatam. And you should know that Guru, Self and God, they are all equal. They are all the same. The Self is God, whom we call as God. And He Himself has come as a Guru to you. Each one gets the Guru he deserves. And whomsoever he may be, he has to think that he has got the best Guru in the world. It is Lord Himself who has come in that form. Only when he believes in it, then he will get the full result. He need not go and try to convince everybody else, hey, I got a Guru who is a God. There is no question, everybody's Guru is a God, as far as he is concerned, but not for others. Need not be for others. Guru Atma Devatam. Then, Amayanavrityayi Trushedatma Atmado Hari. It is the Lord who will take you to yourself. Ultimately, the self is the only reality. Who is the self? You. You are the only reality. And the Lord will take you to that reality. Sarvado manaso sangam adu sangamja sadhushu. Everywhere, with anything, whatever it is, have asanga. Do not have any attachment to anything. Mahaprabhu Chaitanya, it comes in the Chaitanya Bhagavatam. His first Shishya, Sanatana Goswami, he was a minister with a Mughal king. He runs away from there. The king is not prepared to spare him. He comes to him, then Mahaprabhu gives him Sanyas and then gives him a lot of advice. One of the advice I remember. He said, look here my boy, never sit under the same tree for meditation under which you have sat yesterday. If you sit for 2 days consecutively, you will think, oh, this is mine. You will go and sit there. This is what happened. Yes, Swamiji came to Vasishta Guha, and near the Ganges there is a very big stone, very nice to sit. He was sitting there 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. On the 7th day, the dhobi who used to come with all his clothes there, who used to consider it his own, he has been coming for the last 5 years there. He came and first, with respect, he said, Swamiji, please get up and vacate this. This is mine. How is it yours? Is it written there? It is yours? It is mine. I have been sitting here for the last 6 days. Now, he gave him a thapad. Just he gave him a slap. And further there is a story. The story is, he began to say, Govinda. The Lord was playing with his wife. Oh, some devotee is in trouble. He just left her as it is. And he began to run. She came up to the gate and returned. His wife asked, why? I thought my Shishya is calling me. But I found my Shishya himself, he gave another slap to the dhobi. Now I don't know who is the dhobi, who is my devotee. So let them take care of themselves. That's all. As he said, a complete dependence on the Lord. You can't afford to use your own hand and depend on your hand. That's all. 100% dependence. Then, what you do? Adu asangam. Asangam at the end. Adu sanganta sadhu. In the beginning, you should have an attachment towards all the sadhus. Wherever there are holy men, wherever there are great devotees of the Lord, you go and keep company with them. You need not even hear what they say. Be in their presence and imbibe their vibrations. Even that is perhaps enough. So, Ado Sanganta Sadhu. Then where it will lead? Then hearing all their lectures and seeing as to how they live, absolutely detached. You will yourself imbibe those qualities, then automatically satsangat nisangatam. Then that absolute detachment, everything automatically it comes. Then what you should do? Shaucham tapasya diksham vamonam swadhyayamanjam brahmacharyam ahimsa samatvam dandasangyo. You should be very clean and neat at all time. If you are dirty, it's against all spirituality. The next is, you have to meditate. You have to meditate a lot. Tapaha. Because only by that tapaha means a concentration. So whatever you do not know, you concentrate, then it will reveal itself to you. Bhrigu, the son of Varuna, he goes to his father, Varuna. Adi Bhagava Brahmeti. Please, people are telling there is a Brahman. I don't know, please tell me what is the Brahman. He says, no, I can't tell you. Tapasa Brahma Vijigyasasvam Tapo Brahmeti Satapo Tapkita. He said, no, I can't tell you. You have to learn it yourself by concentrating on that. Go on concentrating. This Brahman, what is it? When it reveals itself to me, then one day it will release itself. It will reveal itself in all its fullness. That's what will happen. So tapasya is very important. Concentration, meditation. Then tiksha. What is tiksha? Sahanam sarva dukhanam. Apratikara purvakam. See, some dukkha has come. Say, I got some illness, some strong illness. Don't go to the doctor and try to remove it. Apratikara purvakam. Without seeking any remedy, you should accept it or let it be there for some time. Apratikara purvakam. Not only that, then chinta vilaparahitam. You should not be worried. Yes. Guru told me, so I was sleeping in the terrace all these days. It is winter time. I may get pneumonia. I am already having some problems of balgam. So don't worry about it. You are able to tolerate it. And then don't be worried inside your mind. What will happen? I don't want to be even double pneumonia. So don't have chinta. Then the next is, you don't go out and tell everybody, Mr. Krishnamurti, day first day because my Guru told, I went and slept. I might get even pneumonia, but my Guru told, so I have to do it. So don't go and bemoan to all others that what you did. Simply keep quiet. And this is called diksha. It's very difficult. Simply, sahanam sarva dukhanam to a large extent we can do. But the other portion is more difficult. Then, not only this, what you should do is, sarvatra Atma Ishwarayan Viksham. Everywhere you should see God internally. Don't go into just to think, oh God, you have come. If you go to a donkey, it will only kick you. So don't go and do it. Kriyadvaitam na kuryat. Never do Advaita in practice. It's only the mind till you reach such a stage where you are beyond it all. That's all. And what else? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Dhyanam, Hare, Adbhuta Karmanam, Janma, Karma, Gunanam, Tadartve, Akila, Chveshtitam. Go and hear about the Lord. Whoever is telling some Bhagavata, some Ramayana, you go and hear. Wherever they are talking about the Lord, you go and hear it. Then you yourself do the kirtan. Go on taking the Lord's name and dance, sing. Dhyanam, sit and meditate. Of whom Hare Adbhuta Karmana, the Lord's actions are mysterious. You can never predict what he is going to do next minute. And his actions are all wonderful, marvelous. So you think of him at all times. And think of how he incarnated as a Krishna, how he was born as a Krishna, and what all the deeds he did as a Krishna, Janma, Karma. Then, Tadarte Akhila Cheshtitam. Whatever you do, you say, Narayana Yeti Samarpayami. It is all being dedicated. Lord, it's all yours. You did, I never did. I am nobody. So, you should be able to deny your kartapan. That is, that I am the doer. Leave off the doer. How do you know? Kuchit rudanti achyutajantya kuchiti hasanti nandanti vadanti alaukikaha nrityanti gajanti anshulyantajam. Some people be going on weeping. Hey, why are you weeping? Bhagavan has not yet come. I can't get it means. They weep for the Lord. And somewhere they are laughing. They remember some joke of Krishna. He is joking with this other person. And you are laughing. Hasanti nandanti vadanti alaukikaham. And they are talking not of this world. you can't understand what they are talking. They are talking something which is out of this world. You will not be able to understand. Bhavanti tushnim parametya nirvritaha. Then finally, absolutely silent. All weeping is over, all laughing is over, the absolute silence. Now no thoughts in the mind. They just still, tushnim. Now, the Raja is asking, Karma yogam madatanaha purusho yena samskritaha. You tell me that karma yoga by which one can take away the results of all the karmas which I am now doing. What is that karma yoga? He says, there are three types of karmas. Karma, akarma, vikarma. What is karma? Karma means only those actions which are prescribed in Vedas as to be done. And they may be either nitya or naimittika or prashrita. Nitya means for each types of, say for Vaishyas and for Brahmins, for Thakurs, for each one of them, there are certain duties that are prescribed. Say in the morning, they will have to take arghya and give it before Lord Surya. And like that, and they will have to do it with the Gayatri mantra. Like that, they are being prescribed. Some will have to do the Gayatri mantra daily. So these are all there. That's called the karma. Then what is vikarma? Whatever has been told in the Vedas not to do, they are all sins. Don't do. They are given Pancha Mahapatakas, Pancha Upapatakas. There are 5 great sins, 5 small sins. Like that they are given. So those things, say liquor is supposed to be a sin. So like that they are given. Yes. So that is called vikarma. That which is not the prescribed karma, which is a prohibited action, that is called vikarma. That is never to be done. Then, what is akarma? Akarma is, you do an action, but it is no action at all. An action is an action only when you attribute the authorship to yourself. I did. When the aham comes, and then only it becomes a karma. When you have been doing, it's all given in books. So I am, all these things, whatever I do, whether it's nitya karma or naimitya karma, what is naimitya karma? There are certain days on which you have to do certain things. See, every Amavasya, one is supposed to do some worship for the ancestors. So, they are all called a naimittika, seasonal. Another one is daily, another one is seasonal. And the third one is, you have done some sins. So your Guru has prescribed, well, this yaga or yajna you have to do, then that will be washed away. So that is called the prashchitta karma, as a retribution to what you have done, to remove it. We call it expiation. Karma karma vikarmeti vedavado nalaukikaha. All these things by, these are all told in the Vedas, and this is not to be done. This is not to be done by us. Because he says, Parokchavado vedoyam balanam anuशाsanam. See, the Vedas, they never tell straightforward it is. So, these are all meant for young boys. For them who start, it is given, not for others. People who are making a start. So, karma mokshaya karmani. You see, for getting rid of the karmas and its reaction, you are doing further karmas. By that, the retribution can never be permanent. You will again do the same thing. Kunjara Sauchavatu. See, the elephant when you take it for a bath in a river and wash it completely, on the way it will take the mire, kitchen, and then it will put it on itself. So the same thing will happen to us. We will again and again do the same thing. It does not permanently eliminate the karmas. It is a temporary one. Yes, but what we should do is, Nacharyastu vedoktam swayamagyo ajitendriyaha. A man who doesn't have a control over his senses and over his mind, he should not do what is given in the Vedas. You know why? The Vedas say, well, you do a sacrifice where you bring a cow and then sacrifice it. You will say, what? But the very Veda has told elsewhere, don't kill. And now they themselves say, you kill. But here it is called alabhana. Alabhana means killing in a ritualistic way. Some mantras are told. With the result, the cow gets also a benefit. It does not come back to this world, it gets moksha. And otherwise, this cow, we don't know how many more births it has to take before it gets moksha. So, it is given a shortcut also. That is why it has been allowed. And secondly, what is the other reason? The other reason is, in the earlier days also, whether Brahmins or whoever it was, they were all accustomed to take meat. Now, that taste won't go, even when he begins to do all the spiritual exercises. So, as such, you give him certain authorized channels when he can take some. So that he may not be free. Oh, today come on man, let us go to the hotel and eat meat. He won't do. He will do it only on those days. So like that you limit it first. You straight away if you say you leave it, he won't be able to. So you limit it. So these are all meant for limitations and finally eliminations. You will have to take it away. But this is the start for that. Naishkarmyam labhati siddhim ruchanartha palashruti. So, you do things by dedicating that entire action to the Lord. This is called nishkarma or akarma. Then you get the siddhi of the nishkarmya for having done and having not done. You think you have done something, so long as you say that I didn't do, and the entire thing is dedicated to the Lord, then there is no action done by you. It is as good as a no action. That's why it is called akarma. And then within Omajana Devam Tantro Keshavam Labdhanugra Acharya Tena Sundarshitagavaham. You get the blessings of your preceptor, Acharya, and in the way which he has told you, you do the worship of the Lord, worship of the Deva, and do it completely, Padya, Arghya, then Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya, all these things you have to do. Then, Yani Yani Karmani, Yei Yei Suchanda Janmavi, Chakre Karoti, Chakre Karoti Kartava, Haristani Brahmantunaha. Please tell me, what are all the various deeds that God has done and God can do? He says, you are asking a foolish question. Durmila is no answer. It is easy to count the number of dust which are spread in the entire earth, but you cannot count the various things which the Lord is capable of and Lord has done. It's not possible for you at all. Somebody told, it is possible, I will get it done. Then you say, how? You want, if you have to write, you have to have ink. In the olden days, there is no ball pen. Even I had used. There is a powder which you bring, put it in water and it is made into an ink. And there is a dip pen. I will dip it and write it, dip it, write it, dip it, write it. So this is how we used to do. When I was 8 years old to 10 years old, I was doing it. And Asitagiri samsyati kajjalam sindhupatre. Where will you get so much of ink powder? See, at the end of this world, there is a big mountain which is absolutely black in color. It is called Asitagiri, the black mountain. So I will bring that, make a powder of that. Then, alright, there is so much of water where you will put it and prepare the ink. Sindhupatre, I will make the entire ocean because already the water is there. See, I will just mix it up. I get that beautiful ink. Kajjalam Sindhupatre. Then Likati Varashaka Lekhani Patramukti and a pen. I will take a branch of the Kalpataru. Being a Kalpataru, it will do what I say, it will go on writing. So, Suratara Varushaka, from Surataru, there is a tree of the Devatas. So from Surgamali you can get it. Well, I will get one branch. Then Lekhani ho gaya. Then for writing it you require so much of paper. Who will manufacture it? That much of where all the words you collect, then it won't be sufficient. Don't worry, man. This entire earth I will be going on writing on that. It is so big. So, Urvi on this earth I will use it. Then, who should write it? Likhatyedi grihitva Sharada Sarvakalam. I will call Saraswati. Hey, you will write. I will dictate, you will write. And how many hours? Sarvakalam, morning to evening, she will be given no time because she is gone. She doesn't have time for tea or time for coffee. There is no necessity. So she will write. Likhatyedi grihitva Sharada Sarvakalam. Hey, you do all that. But you can't finish the Lord's qualities and what all He did. You can't. It will still go beyond all these things. So this is a sloka. The same thing he has told. It is not possible. And then slowly he was telling how he was born as Rishabhadeva, how he was born as Vamana, Bhutvada Vamanayamam, Aharat Balekshvam. So he came as Vamana and he applied some cunningness and he sent Bali Chakravarti to the earth, below the earth, like that, all those things. And another question is, Bhagavantam Harim Prayam Na Bhajanti Atma Vittamaham Tesham Ashantakamanam Kanishta Avichidatmanam. Avichidatmanam Kanishta. People have not controlled. Atma means the heart, the mind, and also the self. So here well, there is no need to ask. They fall down, down, down. Patantyadha. They fall down. That's all they do. Those who do not worship me, those who specifically insult me, such people will go down. Then, Dushanta Parakayeshu Svatmanam Harimishwaram mritake sanubandhesmin baddhasneha pratantyadha. People who do not believe that others have got the Lord in their heart. So, people who think, oh, this fellow is my bad neighbor, this fellow is my good neighbor. So, paraka yeshu means others' bodies. And they hate them. Because they don't believe that God lives in them, that God is in them. So, such people, what they will do? All their attachment is towards their sanubandhe, to all their initiates. Who are their initiates? Wife, son, friends, relatives. Their anubandha means their, the surrounding people. That's all. So, they all patantyadha, they fall down. And you see such people, atmanam ghatayanti te, they destroy their own self. It is a suicide of yourself. Atmahana. Then the king is asking another question. Kasmin kale sa bhagavane kim varna kidjo nribihi namna va kena vidhena hujjate dharyochatam. See, the time has been divided into Krita Yuga, then what is the other one? Dwapara Yuga, Satya Yuga, and lastly Kali Yuga. So in each of those places, is the same God worshipped in the same way, or do they worship Him in different ways? If so, by what sort of prayers they worship Him? He says, in each he is done in a different way. For instance, in Krita Yuga, Krite Shukla Chaturbahu Jatilo Varkalambaram, the Lord is considered as purely white. He has got 4 hands, he has got a jata, and he doesn't wear the tiger skin and all that. They wear the outer portion of the trees. That they remove it, that is called Varkala, and that only he wears. And Bibradanda Kamandalu is having a Ganda and a Kamandalu, like that they worship. Ishvara Purushottamanada Paramatma Digiyate, then he is also supposed to be one who doesn't have a form, then we call him Paramatma. Then Tretayam Nartavarno Sahu, in Tretayuga he is red in color, like that. Then, because you asked, and the main thing is that Kali Yuga is coming, that is what is more important for us. He says, what are the 2 shlokas which everybody should do daily for worshipping God in Kali Yuga? I thought it is there in an unknown place here. I was surprised when our Panditji in our Guha, when he was doing all the some sort of havans, he used to tell these 2 shlokas. So it is being told. The first one is, the 2 are beautiful ones. It is in the 5th Adhyaya of Ekarada Skanda. They are 33 and 34. Dhyayam sada paribhavagram abhishtadoham tirthaspadam shivavirinchinutam sharanyam. Lord, you are always to be meditated on. Dhyayam sada. Always one should meditate on you only. Then, paribhavagram. I may get defeated in this world, but the Lord will kill that defeat and He will convert it into a success for you. He is capable of doing that. Paribhavagnam. You see, there is a church and there is a young boy. He used to ring the bell at the time of the puja. they call it the vespers. So at that time, he will ring the bell. His father was a bell boy till he died, so this was given to him. So he was doing it. He was absolutely illiterate. He had known only this, and in due course he had married, he had children, and still he was doing that. By that time, the fame of that church had spread everywhere. And people used to say, whenever you have a problem, you come and sit here from morning to evening, you pray to him, the matter is settled. You will get what you want. And everybody said, this has happened to me, this has happened to me, this has happened to me. Then a lot of foreigners began to come, and they used to get whatever they desired, they got it. And then a new board has taken over. Then they said, look here, now a number of foreigners are coming. There is no use of keeping our fellows who do not know English. You have to talk to them. Then only, we'll get more money and all that. So they said that every employee should know very good English to talk and to read. He had done at least up to the 7th standard. And he will be given 1 month's time. And if he is not prepared, 1 month's pay will be given in advance. They will say goodbye, get out. And the one who was doing the bellboy, he was called the verger. That's a church term used for the one who rings the bell, the verger. They called this verger, one day the new board, they said, look here, you have to learn English to the extent you can understand everybody's accent. The foreigners will be speaking with a peculiar accent, and you should be able to talk back to them. You should have knowledge up to 7th standard. I do not know ABCD. I do not know even Hindi or EE. I am an absolute illiterate. See, I have put in here a lot of years, more than 20, 25 years I have put. So, please, give me exemption. Nothing doing, this is a fixed rule here. Come on, here is 100 rupees, your next month's pay, go away. Your this month's pay 100, your next month's pay 200 rupees, get out. He was shocked. After so many years, he never imagined a day will come when he will be sent out as if there is a recession. And he was not himself. He couldn't think straight. He was going on Mall Road, a long road. And